One of the most important things to consider when looking at a property to be a potential hobby farm for you is, where does the water come from for your animals? The kind of hobby farmer I am is horses and a little bit barn cats, right? And when my husband and I first moved here to this farm, there was no water out here to the paddocks for the horses. So in order to get water to them, we would have to use about 100 foot of hose from the back side of the house, where the only water spigot was, to a water trough out here in the paddock, which isn't too big of a deal in the summertime, but when the winter comes, that gets more and more complicated. So for us, it's a must. It is not a wish. It's an absolute must-have to have an automatic waterer in the paddock where the horses are. Without it, it really makes wintertime chores super miserable. When you're looking for automatic waterers to install, or if you move somewhere that does have an automatic waterer, one of the most important things to do is to get to know your waterer, because inevitably you're going to need to be able to troubleshoot all kinds of different problems that can arise with an automatic waterer. So generally speaking, there's usually two important compartments. Inside the top here is where the float will be, that will help help the waterer know when to shut the water off, depending on the level of the water in the bowl. And then down here below somewhere is usually where the water turn off and spigot is, and also where any of the heating elements will be, both to heat the bowls and, if you so choose, we've also installed heat tape on the pipes to help ensure that we don't get freeze-ups in the wintertime. So you need to know how to get into your waterer, both from the top and from the bottom. This is a Morocco, I believe is the name of the brand for this particular waterer. And on top, it's really easy. These little deals are just set on springs. And down here, you just use a screwdriver to unscrew this to get inside the heat, where the heating elements and the water turnoff is. So a lot around the waterer is going to need to be taken care of by someone who's familiar either with plumbing and or electricity. So I'm not going to give you a ton of advice on how to keep your waterer running the way it's meant to, but I will give you one tip. Inside my tack room, I have a tea kettle, right? Just an electric kettle that heats up water, so that on the mornings after a very cold night, if I happen to come out here to check the water and it's frozen, the first thing I'm going to try is pouring hot water over this float in here. Oftentimes, the only thing that's frozen are the little gears inside of this float. So if you just heat up a tea kettle until it's boiling, and then pour it inside here, being careful not to let it go down the hole that goes down underneath, because there are electrical components down there. Just run it over this little mechanism right here in the corner. 9 times out of 10, that brings the water back to life. Anything beyond that, I'm going to need help from somebody who knows more about plumbing and electricity than I do.